comedian. When I told my wife I was going to do this gig, I said, geez, I could be on the same stage like Jerry Seinfeld, Jay Leno, David Chappelle. And she said, well, there's a couple differences between those people and you. They're successful and funny. And, the thing of it is I'm not only an accountant, a CPA, but I'm a tax director for a local company, which means I'm a tax accountant, which means I have, no sense of humor. In fact, the other accountants I work with at Lord, they call me by a 4-letter word. Nerd! It's like, hey, tax nerd! I'm gonna take your mechanical pencil, tax nerd! Don't cry, tax nerd! And then they hit me with the typical tax accountant jokes, It's like, what does a tax accountant do to enhance his sex life? He gets a subscription to National Geographic magazine. How can you spot a stylish tax accountant? He has a designer label pocket protector. And what does a female tax accountant use for birth control? Her personality. People have a real misconception of tax accountants, tax nerds, because, we are really badass people. You've heard of Biker Week down in Myrtle Beach or New Bern or wherever they have now. Well, let me tell you, once a year, all us tax accountants, we form a posse. We go down and we swarm the main post office. And we file our individual tax returns at 11:59 on April 15th. We come that close to breaking the law. And afterwards, we down all the free coffee and donuts that we can. It is wild. Sure. Really, my job started depressing. Being a tax accountant, deal with tax auditors all the time, or as a former boss of mine referred to them, extortionists. I prepare and review tax returns, I read tax laws, analyze tax laws. It's pretty depressing. In fact, it's so depressing that other accountants don't want to work in taxes. Like a HR manager from our department will go to someone in corporate accounting and say, hey, we got this great job in taxes. And they'll be like, nah, that's okay. I'm pursuing some other opportunities. Rodeo clown, handling waste disposal for a hog farm, playing a jester at a Renaissance festival. I prefer to do those. Not only is my job depressing, but next year I'm going to have a milestone birthday. I'm going to reach big 6-0, which means I'm reaching my golden years. Well, let me tell you something. This is for you young people out there. You know how these economists and these financial advisors are all saying, people aren't saving enough for retirement. Well, here's some advice. Spend it all now, because your gold years are going to suck. You know how when you're in your 20s and you always look at the wedding notices to see who knows getting married, and when you're in your 30s you always look at the birth notices to see who knows having a baby. In the 40s you look at the divorce notices to see who knows getting divorced. Well, I'm not kidding. My brother-in-law sends me death notices of people I went to high school with. I mean, how depressing is that? And then he writes on the bottom, you are next. That night I'm in bed man, I think my heart's beating funny. My left arm feels numb. I go to a doctor 2 weeks later, he's like, your heart's fine, but you're dying of sleep deprivation. And and old age just comes on you like that. It's like one day I woke up and looked in the mirror and it's like, damn, I look like Wilford Brimley. Now, some of you young people are like, who's Wilford Brimley? Okay. Google it on your smartphone. And then your body starts going to heck, you take all kind of medications, you go to the doctor all the time. So, I just like a lot of people, I'm going to fight the ravages of old age. I'm going to do something. I'm going to start exercising. Well, I got something to show you. It's the results of my exercising. See where all the X's are? That's all the places where I'm in pain. I mean, it's no kidding. It's my right knee, my neck, my right side, my back, my left big toe, my left Achilles tendon, my left thigh, my left cheek, not my face, my left bicep. It's like I'm going around work like, yeah, man, I'm glad I'm on this exercise routine. I'm pumped up. And Dr. Frankenstein, I have the corpse prepared. And, in accounting terms, I'm on accelerated depreciation, almost at the end of my estimated useful life, and I'm at scrap value. It's not only your body that's going, but like your mind. You have these little episodes, where you just forget things like. So my wife, she bought me one of these she buys me the Sudoku books, and she got me a Nintendo DS machine, and she also got me a bottle of these Ginkgo biloba tablets to try to keep my memory sharp, but I forget to take the thing, so go figure. But a couple of weeks ago, she was going to go shopping, another true story, and so I thought, I'm going to go to Barnes & Noble, I'm going to buy a book and read it to keep my mind sharp. So she's driving a car. I'm on the passenger side with my shades on, thinking, man, I am so cool. Look at me, I'm an old man, but I look cool, Hey, women, I'm taken. So then I go to Barnes & Noble, I walk in there, put my shades up, and it's like, I forgot my glasses. I'm nearsighted and farsighted. I'm legally blind. What am I going to do? I'll take out my cell phone and call my wife. I forgot to turn it off. I left it on for the last 10 days. It's dead. So it's like, okay, so for the next hour and a half, I'm wandering around Barnes & Noble. Also now with a PA system, I hear this announcement, and it's silver alerts. Elderly gentleman resembles Wilford Brimley. I see a search team comes and finds me, takes me to my wife. It's like, oh, I never thought I'd see you again. And I'm afraid that people I work with, all the Lord people out there, they're going to find out that I'm losing it. And I really need this job because at my age, there's only a couple of things I can do. It's either, do you want that supersized or welcome to Walmart? I'm too old to become a UNC football player and make the big bucks. I have these episodes at work, like I'll be walking down the hallway and all of a sudden it's like, and I'm going to go see somebody, go down to their office, it's like, all of a sudden it's like, where am I going? I have no idea. What am I going to do? I know, I'll go to the lunchroom and pretend I can get a glass of water. So I could go get a glass of water and go back to my office. There's like 15 glasses of water there. It's like, where am I going? I don't know. Or I'll pass someone in the hallway that I see every day. And all of a sudden, I can't remember their name. And it's like, hey, how you doing? How are things going? Carrie, Corey, Kelly, Chrissy, who is this person? So I go back to my office, I go on the address book and Outlook, spend 2 hours trying to find the person's name. Anthony Aardvark, that's not it. Betty Aardvark, jeez, who is this person? So finally I go out and I ask someone, I said, hey, who was that hot babe that I passed in the hallway today? They go, jackass, that was your wife. They go, you left your laptop computer at home for the 3rd time this week again. I was like, oh yeah, Karen, that person I've been married to for the last 34 years.
Well, that's all I have.